Understanding a woman's true feelings can sometimes feel like solving a puzzle. Women might act uninterested while secretly harboring feelings, either out of shyness, uncertainty, or even a desire to test your interest. If you've ever wondered whether a woman likes you despite her actions saying otherwise, here's how to decode her behavior. 1. She acts indifferent but pays attention to you. At first glance, it might seem like she's completely uninterested. She may avoid initiating conversations, give short responses, or act like she barely notices you. However, beneath this facade of indifference, there are subtle signs that reveal her true feelings. Women often use this tactic as a way to protect themselves from rejection or to gauge your level of interest without fully exposing their own emotions. One of the most telling signs is when she pays attention to small details about you, even when she appears detached. For instance, she might remember a random fact you casually mentioned weeks ago, like your favorite coffee order or a show you've been binge-watching. This indicates that, even if she's acting cool, she's still listening closely and storing information about you. Another clue is how she notices changes in your appearance or mood. If she comments on your new haircut, notices you're wearing a new shirt, or asks if something's bothering you, it's a strong indicator that she's more invested than she lets on. These observations often come off as casual or offhand, but they reflect a deeper level of interest. Her body language may also contradict her seemingly indifferent attitude. While she may not openly engage with you, her eyes might linger on you when she thinks you're not looking. She could position herself in a way that keeps you in her line of sight, even in a group setting. Why does she act this way? It could be due to shyness, insecurity, or a fear of coming on too strong. For some women, playing it cool is a way of maintaining a sense of control in the early stages of attraction. It's her way of saying, "I like you, but I need to know if you like me too." The key here is to look beyond her words and focus on her actions. If she seems distant but consistently notices and remembers the little things about you, it's a strong sign that her indifference is just a front. Recognizing and respecting this can help you navigate the situation with confidence and sensitivity. 2. She teases you or engages in playful banter. Playful teasing is one of the clearest signs of flirtation, often masked under a layer of humor or sarcasm. When a woman likes you but doesn't want to make her feelings too obvious, she might use teasing as a way to test your reactions and create a lighthearted connection. This behavior allows her to express interest while maintaining a sense of mystery and control over the situation. For example, she might jokingly poke fun at something you said or did, like how you pronounce a word or how you dress. While the words may seem critical on the surface, her tone, smile, or laughter often betray her true intentions. It's not about tearing you down, it's about creating a playful back-and-forth dynamic that builds rapport. Teasing is also her way of gauging your sense of humor and resilience. Women often appreciate men who can laugh at themselves and handle a bit of playful ribbing without taking it personally. If you respond in kind, with humor and confidence, it shows her that you can keep up with her wit and that you're emotionally secure. Pay attention to how often she initiates these playful interactions. If she teases you regularly but doesn't exhibit the same behavior with others, it's a strong indicator that she's singling you out in a positive way. Her teasing may also be accompanied by other subtle cues, such as lingering eye contact, a quick glance to see how you react, or a smile that lingers longer than usual. What makes this approach so effective for her is its balance. By teasing you, she keeps the atmosphere light and avoids coming across as overly serious or intense. It's her way of showing interest without risking vulnerability. At the same time, it allows her to observe how you interact with her and whether you're willing to engage on her level. The key to responding is not to overanalyze or become defensive. Instead, join in on the playful energy. Respond with your own teasing or witty comeback that keeps the banter flowing. This signals to her that you're both on the same wavelength and open to exploring the connection further. Ultimately, teasing and playful banter are her way of opening the door for deeper communication and chemistry. If you notice her joking with you often, take it as a positive sign and meet her halfway. It could be the start of something more meaningful. 3. She finds excuses to be around you. When a woman likes you but isn't ready to openly admit it, one of the most telling signs is her effort to find reasons to be near you. This behavior often appears subtle and casual, but it's deliberate. She wants to be in your presence, but she doesn't want to make it too obvious. so she creates excuses to spend time with you. For instance, she might ask for your help with something trivial, like fixing a gadget, explaining a topic, or offering advice on a situation she could easily handle herself. These requests are less about the task and more about creating an opportunity to interact with you. If she repeatedly seeks out your assistance or input, especially when she doesn't do this with others, it's a sign she values your company and wants to keep you close. You might also notice her appearing in places you frequent. Maybe she suddenly shows interest in activities or events you're involved in. Or she happens to be at the same coffee shop or gym as you more often than chance would allow. While she might frame it as a coincidence, these actions are usually her way of orchestrating opportunities to connect with you without directly stating her intentions. Another indicator is her lingering presence. If you're in a group setting, she might find subtle ways to stay near you. She could prolong conversations, hesitate to leave when it's time to part ways, or find reasons to keep you engaged, even if it's through small talk. What's interesting is that she often disguises these actions as casual or unplanned. She might say things like, "Oh, I didn't know you'd be here," or, "Can I ask for your opinion on something?" These statements help her maintain a sense of subtlety while still creating meaningful interactions. Her excuses to be around you are her way of testing the waters. She wants to see if you enjoy her presence as much as she enjoys yours. If you reciprocate her energy and engage with her, it reinforces her confidence in the connection and encourages her to open up more. The key to responding to this behavior is to be receptive and present. Acknowledge the effort she's making to spend time with you and show appreciation for her interest. By matching her energy and engaging with her genuinely, you create a safe and inviting space for her to feel comfortable expressing her feelings more openly. In the end, a woman who finds excuses to be around you is likely seeking more than just casual interaction. It's a sign of her interest and curiosity about what the two of you could share. Recognizing this and responding positively can pave the way for deeper connection and understanding. 4. She gets defensive when you mention other women. When a woman has feelings for you but isn't ready to admit them, her reaction to other women in your life can be very telling. Even if she's trying to maintain a facade of indifference, mentioning other women can trigger subtle, or not so subtle, defensive behaviors. This reaction stems from her emotions getting the better of her, as she subconsciously sees these women as competition. For instance, if you casually mention a female coworker or a friend you've been spending time with, she might respond with sarcasm, a sharp comment, or an abrupt change in tone. Her words might sound dismissive, but her body language and expressions often betray her true feelings. She might suddenly seem quieter, avoid eye contact, or try to steer the conversation away from the topic. In some cases, she may go out of her way to discredit the other woman. For example, she could jokingly criticize her looks, personality, or suitability for you. These remarks might be subtle, such as, "Oh, she seems nice, but a bit loud, don't you think?" While framed as an offhand comment, it's her way of redirecting your attention back to her and away from the other woman. Another sign to look out for is a sudden shift in behavior. If she was previously warm and engaged, but mentioning another woman makes her seem distant or less enthusiastic, it's a strong indication that she feels uneasy. This reaction often comes from a place of vulnerability, as she doesn't want to compete for your attention but also can't help feeling affected by the idea. However, not all defensive reactions are overt. Sometimes, she might mask her discomfort with overly casual remarks, pretending it doesn't bother her at all. For example, she could say, "Oh, she sounds interesting," but with a forced smile or an unusual edge in her tone. This subtle defensiveness is another way of keeping her feelings under wraps. Why does she react this way? It's often because she sees potential with you and feels protective of that connection. Even if she hasn't fully expressed her feelings, her reaction to other women highlights her emotional investment in you, whether or not she's ready to admit it outright. If you notice these behaviors, approach the situation with understanding and care. Don't use mentions of other women to intentionally provoke her. This can create unnecessary tension. Instead, observe her responses as a way to gauge her true feelings. If her reactions seem consistent with deeper interest, it might be time to gently explore where the connection could lead. 5. Her body language gives her away. When words fail, body language often speaks volumes, even if a woman is trying to hide her feelings or play it cool. Her nonverbal cues can reveal her true emotions. Body language is one of the most reliable indicators of interest, as it's often subconscious and difficult to control. One of the most telling signs is how she positions herself when she's around you. If she consistently faces you with her body, even in a group setting, it's a subtle sign that you have her attention. She may lean in when you speak, unconsciously closing the physical distance between you. This behavior suggests she's interested in what you have to say and wants to feel closer to you. Eye contact is another powerful cue. If her gaze lingers on you or she looks at you from across the room when she thinks you're not paying attention, it's a strong indicator of attraction. On the flip side, if she looks away quickly when you catch her staring, it could mean she's nervous about revealing how she feels. Mirroring is another classic sign of interest. If she subconsciously mimics your gestures, such as crossing her legs after you do or picking up her drink when you pick up yours, it indicates a level of comfort and connection. Mirroring happens when someone feels in sync with another person, and it's often an unintentional way of expressing rapport. Pay attention to smaller details as well, like fidgeting or playing with her hair. While these actions might seem insignificant, they often reflect nervous energy and excitement. Twirling her hair, adjusting her jewelry, or tapping her fingers can indicate that she's hyper-aware of your presence. Her touch or lack thereof also speaks volumes. If she finds subtle ways to initiate physical contact, such as brushing against your arm or playfully tapping your shoulder, it's a clear sign she's comfortable with you and possibly testing the waters for more closeness. Even accidental touches, like bumping into you in a crowded space, can be intentional if they happen frequently. Lastly, notice how she reacts when you move away. If she subtly adjusts her position to stay within your proximity or looks disappointed when you step out of the room, it shows that she values your presence more than she's willing to admit. Body language often tells a story that words cannot. While one gesture alone might not mean much, observing a combination of these behaviors can provide a clearer picture of her feelings. By staying attuned to her nonverbal cues, you can better understand her interest and respond accordingly.